Alright, so as we know, in resonations, more countries are really weak, like really weak. It doesn't help that they got really nerfed by the electronic nerf. Basically, you used to be able to sell insane amounts of electronics to make your economy basically overpowered. And yeah, a lot of people think that small countries are just unplayable now, like impossible to play. And that is why I'm making this video, to show how to actually play small countries. So let's, get into it. Hey, I'm currently on a way to get to 30,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you. So for this example, I'm going to pick a weak nation with like barely any cities. So first of all, I know electronics got nerfed and all, but there's a secret. You can still sell up to 5 electronics to every nation. Now, it did take me a little bit of time to find a nation that I want to play, so everyone will probably sell, yeah. And people are already selling 5. And other than that, I would recommend building a steel and mortar factory, even if you don't have a scarcity. Now, what's your first plan? Obtain a scarcity. Look around you. So here, I see that my neighbor has a scarcity, but also Liberia. Both of them have 20k troops, and Senegal has many cities, so I think I can probably force peace the main city without taking it. So I'm gonna make troops and justify on Senegal. Now for research, I always recommend going for quantum computing. And since you're a small nation, research spending will be really cheap for you. Yeah, see, only 20,000 for research spending. Don't forget to buy resources like me. I would never forget to buy resources. Nah, there we go. And then you can start selling your elex. Taiwan, Vietnam. And yeah, see, countries are accepting. South Africa. I recommend also building a fertilizer factory. But since I'm out of electronics, I'm also gonna build another ELAC. Not to sell more, but to get enough for civilians. Because the new method of making more money than electronics is selling consumer goods, since countries always start with a negative consumer goods deficit. If your enemy has more than 9 cities, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, then I would recommend not taking their biggest city, and you can just force peace them. I'll show you how to do that later. And yeah, just start justifying more war. Now, once you take over like a country that has scarcity, I always recommend turning off reinforcements so that they don't eat your manpower. And of course, go on mass attack, since mass attack doesn't affect things. Now, once you've taken over like 90% of your enemy cities, you can force peace the country. To that, just go to negotiate terms. Obviously select to get all of the resources and money. Select all the 3 options, then click on select cities, and select all of their cities. Then back, and then just send the terms. And by that, if you did it properly, they always accept, and I didn't have to take over that city. If you have any leftover troops and any other small nations, I would recommend just invading them, but otherwise we're gonna wait for the unrest to go down. And while you can, I would also recommend pumping up your government spending just to get more stability and more political power. Now for political power, I recommend doing 2 things: either going limited for more manpower, like a lot more, or going nationalist. I prefer going nationalist first, but you can go limited if you think a nation will invade you and I just need that manpower. Now that I have consumer goods, I can sell, so I recommend just going all the way down. This is where like the biggest countries are that need the most consumer goods, and just selling to India and Brazil and countries like that. There we go. And make sure that you always have a positive amount of consumer goods, just so you get extra stability. Oh, and then I can turn nationalist, and I can also start building tanks. Now, for Nigeria, I am going to be merging all of my units together. Now, just take, one city, one small city, and then just let your tanks entrench, or troops, depends what you're using. It's a basic strategy everyone uses. You can also flank them from the side with different tanks. Not a bad thing to do. And they just evaporated. Yeah. 110k just die instantly because of entrenchment. Yep. And I'll just take over the country. And I don't want to take the city because it's so big. Yeah, 10 million population. So I'm just gonna, not enforce visit later. If you have medium government spending, you can go on high tax, and these two basically, the stability loss balances out with the government spending, and since you have consumer goods, your stability will still go up, so it's worth it. Well, yeah, I didn't get that much more, but I think it's worth it. Basically, you don't lose anything. Okay, and that should be Nigeria. Done. So yeah, as you can see, I just expanded from this small little state over here with like 4 or 5 cities to this. That is basically the small country guide. Now at this point, once you get this big, you're not a small country anymore. Come on, 70 million population. And yeah, I would recommend continue getting into quantum, then either go economic, infantry, or whatever you want really. And once you get an OPP, also go crashes. Yeah, that. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I think you'll also like this one.